Banshee Fever 750 here. We started stripping down the Bombardier. I figured, you know what? The engine wouldn't run, wouldn't start. So I was checking all kinds of things. It looks like it needed to do a valve lash adjustment. So I adjusted the valves. And oil looks a little mucky. But this thing's probably been sitting for a while. But anyway, the valves were definitely out of spec. It wouldn't start. This thing's a pain. Had to take the cams off. See that? Had to take the cam girdle, the bottom, the lower, and the upper off. Timing chain. Kind of a bigger job than I would have. Usually these things have the little nut adjusters and the screw adjusters. Usually this kind of setups on the higher revving engines, you know, 12 to 15,000 RPM, you know, stuff like that. So I was kind of surprised to see that on a 9,000 RPM engine. But anyways, this is a better design either way. It's more maintenance, but they're a lot more exact, and there's a lot less rotating mass. But I figured I'd get the engine running before I parted it out. You know, I want to make sure I got this engine dialed in, so I'll pull it out and I'll put it up for sale. Maybe somebody will want an engine kit for their go-kart, or maybe somebody will need to replace the engine on their DS 650 or Bombardier. But anyways, anybody that's doing the valve lash adjustment, I'm not going to get into details and specs, but you do have to see that nut down there. Here's your left side of the engine where the shifter is. See that? I removed the existing nut in there, and I put I think it was a 10mm bolt in there, and there's a slot on a crankshaft that puts you at top dead center. You'll see it when you rotate it. You got to shine a light on it. So you lock it in place, and then you'll notice I was spinning the engine, and this is on the right side over here of the engine. You'll see I took out this plug here. See that? And then I took I believe it was let's see what I got going here. 6mm hex. And I used this to spin the engine around while I was looking at the other side. I put my arm right through here, and I rotated the crankshaft, the engine over. And I also had a straw inside of the piston hole, so I can make sure that the piston was up top, dead center, at the mark was in relation or corresponding with the legitimate top dead center. But you got to make sure your cams are facing front. The front one's facing forward, the back one's facing back. So anyways, to do a valve lash adjustment on this thing, you do have to take, I'm not going to get into specs. This is just a quick overview for anybody who's going to do a DS650 valve lash adjustment. You have to take the valve cover off. You have to take the cams off, upper lower girdle, cam girdles, timing chain, and then you also have to take off the tensioner. The tensioner has no spring, so it's all hydraulically operated, because I thought normally there's a spring in there. So I couldn't find a spring, so I thought there was something wrong. I thought I lost something, but that wasn't the case. So I just wanted to point out a few things, a couple things I wish I would have known. The rest of it you can find online pretty easy. Specs supposed to be between 4 and 6 thousandths of an inch. These were at 0. Well, actually I had one at 3, and I had this one was actually at 4 on the low end. But then the 2 intake ones, which are pretty common, they were at 0. So I couldn't even get a feeler gauge in there. So anyways, Banshee Fever 750, just a quick little review on what's going on over here in the Monster Garage. See if I can get this DS motor buttoned up, get up and going so I can sell it. Banshee Fever 750. Get back to you soon.